I'm Sherry Dias-Malott, and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. I'm going to show you, you can't tell right now, but I have a scar under one of my eyebrows. And I'm 54. I've learned so many makeup tips and tricks in the last several years, and I want to show you, I have become a master of disguise. So I want to show you how I cover up a scar easily so that you can't even tell. So hang on, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. I'd love to see you here for more makeup and beauty for women over the age of 50. Hey, welcome. I rarely do late at night videos, but I know that there are several people who follow me here on this page who have asked me to show them how to cover up a scar. And I'm going to tell you, I'm 53. I have been covering up blemishes and adult acne and melasma and scars on my own skin since I was a teenager, and I have become masterful at it. And I'll be real honest, I've been nervous all day about coming here and doing this video because I thought, this is going to take a lot of nerve. This is going to take a lot of guts because I'm going to take off my makeup and show you a scar that I am covering up. And I'm wondering right now if you're watching, jump on. If you start watching, tell me where you're watching from. I have really been trying to get up the nerve to do this all day. I am really good at covering up things, so I don't know. See, it makes me even nervous just to talk about it. If you are new to my page, welcome. I'm Sherry Dias-Malott with Glam Lashes Galore, and I'm the leading expert in teaching women how to use makeup with confidence so that they can see beauty is ageless. I have my beauty wipes, and I'm going to start taking off my makeup in one spot where I am hiding a scar. If you jump on, say hi, tell me if this is a video that you are interested in seeing. Let me know if you also have scars that you are trying to cover up. It is so easy with the technique that I'm about to show you. And I have perfected this over time, over, my goodness, 40 years, 40 some years. I started doing makeup when I was a teenager. And throughout the years, I had to figure out different ways to cover up my makeup. Not only where I grew up in Southern California because it was very dry and a very dry heat that I had to figure out makeup that would work, but also as a military wife for 25 years, almost 25 years, I had to learn how to do the same techniques in different places where the military sent us. So I've tried and tested my own techniques in desert heat, in the humidity of the South. And let me tell you, if you are in Florida right now, my thoughts and prayers are with you. My beautiful aunt lives in Cocoa Beach, and I understand they are just about ready to evacuate. They're under a mandatory evacuation order. So if you are in the way of the hurricane, all of my thoughts and prayers go out to you to be safe. So let me show you what I'm going to do first. I'm going to take just a makeup wipe, and I would love for you, if you put in the comments, if you can guess where this scar is that I'm covering up. I would love for you to tell me where you think it is, because I think I do a pretty darn good job covering up any of my flaws. I have so many people tell me, oh my gosh, you have such good skin, you have perfect skin. Well, no, I don't. I never leave the house without makeup because I am self-conscious about my skin. And if you have issues that make you, I don't know, sort of feel intimidated by because you don't feel like you look your best without makeup, I can totally show you how to do these techniques too. So stay with me and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take just a makeup wipe. You could use anything, but I've had my makeup on all day long, so I'm going to show you how I take it off. Just going to use this. All right, anyone guessing where my scar is? I'm going to tell you right now. It's under my eyebrow. Okay, but can you tell? My eyebrows look okay. I've overplucked them. I've made so many mistakes, and so I love to come here and try and show you how to not do the mistakes that I've made. I'm going to take off the makeup over my eyebrow so that you can see how I've covered it up, and then I will do step by step to show you how I create a brow and cover up a scar as well. So The funny thing that I never knew was when I overplucked my brows, I did not realize that they would not grow back exactly the same. And you can start to see right here, right? I have a scar where I've just struggled with this spot so much on my eyebrow. And you can see right now, it's a little bit red because I'm pushing on the skin. It's such delicate skin right there. But my brow stops right about here, okay? So I'm going to show you what I do first. If you have a scar that is rough, or maybe it's trying to heal, maybe you're putting Neosporin on it or some kind of an ointment or a healing property of some kind, you want to keep the skin or the scar area, you want to keep it soft and, I don't want to say pliable, but I can't think of another word right now. You want to keep the area soft, and you'll get a much better, a much more natural looking makeup application if you have a soft texture to a scar like that. Okay, hands are all wet. So the first thing that I do, pretend I'm putting on my makeup in the morning when I do my makeup. The first thing I do is I put a little drop of an eye serum under each eye, and that to me has made such a huge difference in, I think, in my eyes looking so much younger than, well, let me just say this. I forgot to take my eye serum on a weekend trip when I took my daughter away for a weekend, and the next day I woke up and I looked horrible. I looked 10 years older. So I really swear by an eye serum. It makes such a difference. I use a drop in the morning and a drop at night. I'm going to put just a little bit of it. It's just a very light serum, and I'm going to rub it over, and you're like, stay with me on this. Okay, what I want is I want the area to be soft. I want it to be more pliable. I don't want it to be hard. And so that's going to help me for my base. Now the next thing that I do is I really use a lot of color in my brows. I like to use an eye primer, and I just need a little tiny bit. Let me show you how much I'm going to use, because usually when I do eye primer, I do one dot over each eyelid. And so I'm using just a little tiny bit right here, and I'm going to smooth it out on my hand because I don't want too much. I like to bring the eye primer up over my brows because I feel like it helps hold the color better. And I'm going to pat just a little bit more on. Let me get a little bit more on my finger here. Hello, where is everybody watching from? Tell me where you are right now, where you're watching from, and let me know if this is a helpful video, if this is something that you think you can use. I totally want to know. Now the eye primer that I use has just a little bit of a fleshy tone in it, so already you can see it's helping with the pinkness and with the color. It's already neutralizing it, right? The next step after I would do my eye primer would be my foundation. So let me get just a little dot of my foundation. Make sure that I have all of the products ready, because you don't need to sit and watch me do a 1-hour makeup tutorial just to see one thing, right? If you have been watching my videos, you know that I love to do videos in a bite-sized way so that you get the most information that you can implement tomorrow or next week, and you don't have to see all the other stuff. So take what you need in little bite-sized pieces, right? I'm going to take just a little bit of this foundation because I want everything to be the same color as my face. The key to layering, or rather the key to covering any kind of spots or adult acne or scars, is in layering. But if you layer too much or too thick of a product, it can be cakey. And then if it's cakey, a couple of things happen. If it's cakey, then it doesn't look like you're covering, I mean, it looks like you're covering up something, but it doesn't look like it's natural, right? It doesn't look like it's part of your skin. But also, if it's too cakey, it won't last very long, and also it makes you look older. And I don't know, I'm 53. I don't know that I need to look older. I'm all about trying to look younger. because when I feel like I look younger on the outside, I feel like I feel younger on the inside. Okay, so I've layered that now. Now the next thing, depending on the scar, is do I want to add a very, very thin layer of concealer? And it really depends on what kind of scar you have. Hello, Houston, Texas. Yes, my son just came back from Houston. How are you, Melanie? I sure hope that the hurricane is not headed for the Gulf next. That is so scary. Okay, so what I will do, I will show you how I do. Let me get my concealer brush here. Again, with concealer, same thing. You want to be using light layers. The more see, this is why I don't do late videos, because like at 8:30 I'm ready for bed and I'm on the East Coast, so it's past my bedtime. If you do something like putting this on a little palette or on your hand or something, you can really spread out a concealer. This is a little concealer brush, and you can make it a thin layer, which really helps in making something look more natural on your skin. I am just going to dab this on. I can smooth it out with my finger if I want, so that there's no harsh edges, or I can use a smaller brush like this to make sure. Look at that, it's blending in so nicely, right? Can you see? I can get closer, but you can see that it's like, it totally works, you guys. I do this all the time. I've had this scar and you guys wouldn't even know it because I covered up, and honestly, I was so nervous today to do this video. That's why I'm doing it so late. It took me so long to get up the nerve to do it. I'm going to brush just a little bit of a translucent powder, because my hands are all slippery. Let me see if I can get this off. I love the Airspun Coty powder. It is fantastic. I just need a little dusting of it. You can use a setting powder also. Totally up to you. But what I want is a matte finish here. You don't have to do this. I just love powder. And I know that it's going to last me longer if I do that step first. So now I'm ready for color. I'm going to take my little angle brush, and actually I always use the color cleaner like this, and it's just a little dry sponge, and I get the color off first, and then it's really going to pick it up, and it's going to stay so much nicer. And I'm going to start with this color right here. It's just a lighter brown, and I'm going to put a little bit on the angle brush, and I'm going to start my brow, okay? And I'm just going to do little strokes until I start creating the arch that I want. Can you see? Can everyone see okay? Let me know if you can't see, and I'll try and move closer to the camera. You can drag it, but see, I don't want to really drag it too much because I don't want to pick up the product that I've already lightly layered onto my scar. So I'm doing this technique. It's sort of like a stencil, like a stipple. Is that how you say it? A stipple, a stipple. I'm just pressing the color into my skin. Because I have the primer there, it's going to hold it. And I'm building an eyebrow. I'm basically building an eyebrow. And I don't stress too much about it, because if I did, I would make myself crazy. I'm going to use the flat brush here. Coty powder. Isn't it wonderful? For a while, I was having trouble finding it. I've even ordered it from Walmart, from the Walmart website, and they delivered. But sometimes I have trouble finding it. I don't know why, but it lasts for so long. I just have not found something better than that. I'm going to go back into that light color, and I'm going to go back over the scar. Now see, it's super light. So what are a couple of things I could do? I could take a little brow pencil. I could add a little pencil to it to define the brow. Or I'm going to do something just because I have it in my hand. I'm going to take this darker color here, and I'm going to just, see, everyone makes mistakes when they do makeup. I'm going to do just a little bit darker right over and start building it up. Now, if it's too thick here, again, I could take the brush and I can sort of, pare it down to a thinner, hey Melanie, how are you? Down to a thinner sort of tail. And I can really build it the way that I want. But as you can see, the scar now is basically, oh gosh, I am making all kinds of mistakes. The scar is basically undetectable. What I've done by taking off just my eyebrow and, at Walgreens, I don't have a Walgreens. That's good to know though. When I go to some other place where there's Walgreens, I should stock up. By taking this off and rebuilding it, what I've done is I've messed up my eyeshadow, right? But that's easy enough to do, easy enough to fix that, because there are some times when throughout the day I'll do something, or I'll, mosquitoes are really bad right now where I live, and so I may, think there's a mosquito on me, and then I'll wipe off part of my brow, and I think, oh gosh, now I have to go in and fix it. So it's really a great tip to show you how I do this. If you use a real fluffy brush and you have a nice pigment eyeshadow already on, you can go back in and just diffuse it, just back and forth, and blend it, and take product from your eyebrow or from your eyelid already, because that's the easiest thing to do. If you feel like you still need more, you can always go back into your colors, and I'll take a little bit of the lighter color. I'll take a little bit of, let's see, we'll go back into this color, was one of the colors I used. At the top of my page, at the top of Glam Lashes Galore, there is a video that is pinned to the top, and it's the tutorial for how I created this eye look, because I love it so much. I've been wearing it all summer long. I just can't get enough of it. It's pretty much just neutral browns and a little bit of pink in the center. But it makes for a great eye look that goes with anything I wear, which is fabulous. But you can see how I just built up all of the makeup again. I also, if I need to, I can go back in with, where'd my brush go? I can go back in with my concealer brush. I can go back to my palette here with a little bit of color, and I can touch up if I need to, but you can't even tell, right? You can't tell that I covered a scar. Now this would work. You can do the same kind of thing for other parts of your face. I have dark melasma spotting here, and so maybe what I want to do is I want to use a little bit of a concealer very, very lightly like this. You can even put a little tiny drop of a primer into it. If your house is cold because it's winter, or it's cold because you keep the air conditioning really low, you can help. You can rub it between your fingers, or you can rub it with a little bit of that primer, and that will help thin it out, smooth it out, make the consistency super silky, and that way it goes on the brush nicely, and then you don't need that much to just tap and pat it onto the skin. And then either use your finger, because you know right where your hands are, or use a little brush like this. It's a little feathery, and you can get in there and you can feather out the edges so that no one can see. But then once you do that, you want to set it with, I think a powder, for me anyway, a powder like a translucent powder just works fabulously. If you don't like powder, if you really like the dewy look, if you prefer a more natural look like that than a matte powdery look, you could also use a setting spray, which would work fantastically, and that would keep it all in place. You'd have to, fan yourself and let it dry and everything, and then you could do the product also. A setting spray also would help pull that color. When it's time for you to go in and do your eyebrow color, the setting spray would help keep that onto your brow. So you could set it like right before you put the color on, let it dry just for a few minutes, and then do the color and then set it again. So I'm here to tell you there's no rules. You can do whatever works for you. And that is what I love about makeup, because I find makeup tips that work for me, because the girl that's on YouTube that's doing all the cute videos and she's 30 years younger than me, her tips don't work for me. The way that I used to do makeup when I was 15 or 25 or even 35, they don't work the same for me. Makeup has changed. I've changed. My skin has changed. I live in a different climate than I did then. So just because things worked a certain way 10, 20, 30 years ago doesn't mean they're going to work the same way now. And as you get older, you are going to find your skin is going to change. Your hair is going to change. And that can be hard and that can be challenging, but there are tips that will still work so that you can still look and feel fabulous. And as I learn these myself, as I go through them myself, I love to come here and share them with you, because covering up blemishes and melasma and dark spots, you can even see some of the dark spots I have on my skin, and scars like the one that I have. No, they don't work for me either, Nina. The scars that I have, I've had to learn ways to do different tips so that I could feel better about myself, because when I feel better on the outside, I'm going to tell you, I feel like $1,000,000 on the inside. And that's what I want to share with you here. I want to share with you tips that make you feel like you're putting your best foot forward, like you feel like you're $1,000,000. Like, age doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. I'm the girl that used to cry every stinking year on my birthday in November. Every year, because I felt like this clock was ticking. I felt like I was disappearing. I felt like I didn't even know who I was anymore. And by changing little things, by learning better tips, by putting myself out there and feeling better about the way I look on the outside, oh my gosh, it has absolutely changed the way that I feel on the inside. And that is what I want for you. I want you to feel better. I want you to stop hiding from photos. I want you to try makeup tips. Try something new this week. Try something that I've taught you here. You can use hashtag glam lashes galore, and you can look at 200 or 300 videos that I've created, and maybe there's a tip there for you, because I'll tell you right now, none of my videos are an hour long. None of them. I don't have time for that. I know you don't have time for that. Hi Nellie, how are you? Thank you for watching. We don't have time. We're busy. We're working. We have kids. We have families. We have homes. We have careers. We have so much in our life that keeps us busy and things that we want to do. We don't have time for a 1-hour makeup tutorial. And those makeup tutorials that are 1 hour, do you think I can use any of those tips? Nope, none of them work for me. So I love to come here and give you bite-sized tips that you can use so that you feel great about yourself, so that your makeup is easier and looks better. I look better now than I did 7 years ago. And when I'm done, I'm going to show you a picture that proves I was in a rut. It's amazing how Facebook Memories reminds me every day of photos that I pinned or put on Facebook. They like to tell me and show me how horrible I looked because I was hiding. I did not put myself on Facebook. I never shared pictures of me. I never let people take pictures of me. And you know what's really sad? I have an amazing husband and 3 kids, and there's a lot of chunks of years where they don't have pictures of me. So I hope that you will hear me and you will receive these words from my heart to yours to take pictures of yourself. Do what you need to do so that you feel better, so that you show up in pictures and in real life for your family, for the people who love you, and mostly, for you. Because don't you deserve to feel amazing? I'm so glad you joined me tonight. If you're new to my page, welcome so much. You can click on the 3 little dots in one of these corners and get notified whenever I go live on video. And if you know someone who loves makeup for women over 40, hello, and maybe could use this tip, feel free to send this to them, because I want to help one woman at a time feel better and not let things like, having a big old scar on your face hold you back. I hope you have a fantastic evening. I'm Sherry Dias-Malott. Happy Labor Day if you're watching this live, and be good to yourself. Bye.